Hi everybody and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in the endurance series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. With our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and your sensitivity. Our tracks are in laser scan, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and you?
Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao and see you soon.
I know you've got a secret like a child, you wanna keep it, but your shiny eyes reveal the simple truth.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.
A good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome here to round number 5 of the Wave Italy V8 Championship here at World Pro Racing. We're looking forward to some very nice racing today on the schedule. At Mosport Park, we've got a qualifying session of 10 minutes, then a race of 20 minutes, then another qualifying session of 10 minutes, and then another race of 20 minutes. Of course, before that, we are just now in the practice session. Let's quickly do the introductions. My name is Felix van Delft, joined in the commentary booth today. I've got Caitlin Penny with me as well. Welcome.
Hello everyone, sorry about that. Yes, hope you can hear me all okay. I'm here and I'm looking forward to this. I love V8 supercars. I love the Mosport circuit. It's one that I've commentated at before. And yeah, today we have a very, very intriguing event. So let's get into it, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, on the broadcast, we've got Justin Mifsu, by the way, race director, as usual, Adrian Figallo, and stewarding, we've got George Muscat helping us as well. So, like you say, Caitlin, Mosport Park is a very, very nice track to race at. It's got a lot of differences in height, dropping down, going up to the crest. I think that's going to challenge the drivers quite a lot here today.
Oh, totally it is. Mosport is famously a driver's circuit. It's one that people always look forward to going to. And I know I say that about a lot of circuits, but Mosport has been one since the 1960s when it was built. It used to host Formula One races back in the early days. I think the last of those was 74 or 75. And it's a very much missed addition to the calendar. These days, of course, we still host endurance races there, or IMSA does rather, with the WeatherTech Championship, and it's also hosted rounds of the ALMS, the American Le Mans Series, and famously some supercar championships and some sports car championships as well. And yeah, absolutely, it goes up, it goes down, you have elevation changes, you have sweeping corners, not too many heavy braking zones, so overtaking, that can be pretty difficult at times. You have to pick your moment and you have to set it up, although that is just an extra challenge that the drivers face.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a quick look at the championship standings. Adam Pinches has been very dominant throughout these first 4 rounds of the championship, winning almost all of the races except for one last week in Phillip Island. But therefore he's still leading the championship with 145 points. Daniel Stremer in second behind him with 110 points, winning his first race last time around in Phillip Island. Then we've got a bit of a gap to Alex Life with 66 points. Ross McFarlane, who's unfortunately missed the last 2 rounds with 60 points. He was one of the drivers that was able to challenge Adam. And then in 5th, we've got Nathan Mifsud. In 6th, Sheldon Muscat with 50 points. Pretty close to still there in the P5, P6, P7, because Dean Vella only 3 points behind Sheldon Muscat in P7. And then Christian Abier, P8 with 43. Gerard Martinez in P9 with 42 points, and Michael Martin rounding up the top 10 with 37 points.
Indeed, it's a close championship so far for the lower positions. Unfortunately, Adam Pincers has been running away with it a little bit out in front, and I believe I'll have to work this out. Yes, indeed, Adam Pincers can actually wrap up the championship today in terms of points. But yeah, so I suppose it's all going to be about, can anyone beat Adam Pincers? Someone could. Last time out, Daniel Streamer, of course, became the first driver to win a race and not be named Adam Pincers. Although this time out, of course, it's a different circuit, and we're going to see whether that can happen twice in a row, whether lightning strikes twice. So anyway, we've got a couple of minutes left in official practice before we head to the official qualifying session. Adam Pincers currently about half a second in the lead of the live timing, and as a result, he looks to be just as difficult to beat as ever.
Yeah, definitely. I was just having a look at the drivers in this practice session. It seems to me that some of them have quite a bit of struggles coming into the turn 5 section of the track, which is pretty much the only hard-braking part of the track, but it also goes downhill quite a lot, and I saw a lot of drivers going wide there. So in qualifying, we're gonna have to see who's gonna make sure that they nail the lap, especially through that part of the track.
You're absolutely right. That is one of the most difficult parts of the course. I think you're talking about the turn 2 sweeper down the hill. And yeah, indeed, in every race I've commentated there, people have been running off, people have been getting it wrong. There's grass waiting to catch you if you don't bring it back onto the line. In time, you get a similar thing at the previous corner at turn 1 as well, and yeah, it's tricky. I've seen leads change in that part of the course through people just pushing it a bit too far, not getting it back in time, and taking a slight trip through the grass. So yeah, things can happen.
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen the previous past rounds that these drivers are definitely not shy to attempt certain moves. We've seen them try perhaps a bit too optimistic things, and then therefore making mistakes and losing positions because they just a bit too aggressive. We've seen it a lot in the last round at Phillip Island. But let's see if they're able to compose themselves a little bit more today. But we're just gonna have to wait and see until the race for that, of course. There's about a minute left in this practice session. After that, like I said before, 10 minutes of qualifying and then a 20-minute race.
So just a couple of minutes to go now, possibly even just 1 minute until the start of the qualifying session. Adam Pinter is currently at the top of the practice times in the Holden ZB, ahead of the other Holden VFs. I'm not sure how much of a difference there actually are between the two types of Holden, or if there is indeed a difference at all. We don't have any drivers in any of the other cars, because of course this is a Holden only championship, but Daniel Streamer is currently second ahead of Kirsten Dean Vella, then Nathan Mifsud, Sheldon Muscat, and further back, two drivers struggling to set representative lap times, Chris Vella and Michael Martin. Martin hasn't been out on track much at all, so we'll see what happens with those guys. So qualifying is now just around the corner.
Yeah, so quickest in the end of this practice session has been Adam Pinch's best lap time of 1:16.5, over half a second even quicker than Daniel Streamer, who did a 1:17.057, and then he in his turn is about 0.8 quicker than Kirsten Abier. So interesting to see that the gaps are quite big, at least in the top three, after Kirsten. Dean Vella is really close behind him, and then there's a bit more of a gap to Nathan Mifsud. Perhaps drivers not really able to set representative times in this practice session, or perhaps just that Adam Pinches is really in a class of his own at the moment. Daniel Streamer a little bit behind that, but still quite a lot quicker than Kirsten. We're going to have to wait and see for this qualifying session, which will be starting in about 1.5 minutes time.
So as you say, it is just around the corner now, and the drivers are going to, in fact, there we go. The qualifying session has now begun, and the drivers are going to head out on track in anger and see exactly what they are capable of. None of the drivers on the track just yet, and the first one out, actually it's side by side in the pits there, but it was Dean Vella just about. Now he was one of the drivers who struggled to set a representative lap time in the practice session. And I suppose we now have to see whether that was just him struggling with the circuit, or whether he's done enough practice before and he just didn't go out enough in that practice session. So anyway, over the crest of the hill he goes, down towards Moss Corner, which is the tightest corner on the track. Got some cars in his mirror, and they have to be careful to to get some track position. Of course, if you have a car directly in front of you, it can disturb your airflow. It can, obviously, it can slow you down because you can't overtake in qualifying when you're both pushing. You can, although it's very, very difficult and it will cost you a lot of time. Change your position on track there. Someone's just gone ahead of Dean Vella, and it seems that someone else is going to be the first driver to settle up. I think it's Kirsten Eberje. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Sorry, Kirsten, for that messed up pronunciation at the start. It is indeed Kirsten. So Kirsten will be first onto a lap, and we'll watch him as he heads around the Mosport circuit.
First corner is a very long right-hander, then you have two left-handers, or basically one big corner, Clayton corner as it's called, and then Quebec corner, turn 3, also a long right-hander. These tires are gonna really suffer during the race, I think, as the drivers push them to their limits. Now coming through turn 4 into the hard braking zone, locking up a little bit. Is he gonna make the corner there? Yes, he is. Turn 5, most corner. Gets the car nicely turned. The inside curbs there are a bit high, so if you touch them too much, you might even unsettle the car and spin out, or maybe even flip the car if you touch them too much and just bump the suspension. Then the long straight, Mario Andretti straightaway, all the way into turn 8. Another corner where you brake into the corner, and then the left-hander of the S's, and then into the last corner, White's corner. Up to the short start-finish straight. Let's see what the time is for Kirsten Eberje. 1:17.6, and immediately Dean Vella goes about a tenth quicker than that.
So that is the first time set there by Kirsten Eberje. Dean Vella has gone quicker than him, as has Daniel Streamer. So Dean Vella indeed does have the potential to set representative lap times. We weren't sure in practice, but he set a pretty good 1:17.5 there. But Streamer currently on top. His first time 1:17.467, and we're waiting now to see what the other drivers can do. Adam Pintz, of course, has not yet started his flying lap. Neither have other drivers. I believe that one of the two Michaels missed the practice session. It was either Michael Butler or Michael Merton. It was Butler indeed. So we're not yet sure what Michael Butler is capable of doing at this circuit, but we shall soon see, because he is about to start his flying lap as well. Time still coming in, still none as quick as the top 3 that we spoke about at the very start, but yeah, Butler on his lap.
Nobody at the moment really starting to improve their time. Sheldon Muscat was on a bit of a quicker lap, but now as I watch him coming out of the last corner, a lot of oversteer.
Yeah, don't worry, you can finish your mouthful there. On my screen, weirdly, Chris Vella is registered as having a Ford rather than a Holden, and I didn't know that was allowed. I thought it was a Holden-only championship, but he does indeed seem to have a Ford. So I'm not sure whether I just misunderstood the rules, but anyway, my apologies. Anyway, so laps continuing to be set. We're about to see a couple of other drivers fly across the line to complete theirs. Michael Butler coming towards the end of his flying lap, as is Adam Pintzers. Now we're expecting Adam Pintzers to be the driver to beat here, probably the pole sitter, because he was so much faster than everyone else in practice and has been for the rest of the series. But let's see what his time is. Things can always change in qualifying. He crosses the line 1:16.542. That is indeed the fastest time that we've seen in the qualifying session so far, by almost 0.8 of a second. Not quite as quick as his practice lap, although he was only a little bit down on that. But yeah, 116.542. That's 0.755 faster than Daniel Streamer at this current point in time. And Streamer himself is a couple of tenths ahead of Dean Vella. Vella about to complete his own lap, dips some wheels in the grass, coming up the final corner, crosses the line. No improvement for Dean Vella. Goes for another flying lap. Doesn't bail out of it, so he is going for this one. And this is going to be another attempt crossing the line. Kirsten Abe here, not as fast as his previous lap. Other drivers, Michael Butler still yet to complete his flying lap, but he's just got a few corners to go.
Yeah, about 3.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. So we're starting to make our way to the end of the session. Drivers are about able to do 3 more laps, 2-ish. Depends on where they are on track and how they will do their outlaps. Stremer, through the first couple of corners, seems to be a bit quicker through that first sector, getting closer to the sector time that Adam Pinches was doing there. Pinches did a 27.8. Stremer now doing 27.9. Sector 2, 26.4. And that is now coming into the final couple of corners as we're coming into the S's. With Stremer, I think it's going to be very close, at least to his personal best, coming to the line, because he didn't improve in that second sector. Now last sector, what is it going to be? 22.8. So not, and it is an improvement, but not by much. He continues on for another attempt, so not doing a cool down lap or an in lap to try and get some fresh tires to start the qualifying again with a better set of tires. As I say that though, he bumps the car into the wall there, and that's definitely gonna put him back into the pit lane.
Michael Butler still hasn't set a quick lap time. He's been for a couple of laps. I wonder whether he hasn't done enough practice maybe. Here crosses the line. Okay, well he's got it under 120, although still over 3 seconds off the leader Adam Pinces, as it is indeed Michael Martin. I mean, no disrespect to either of those drivers. Of course, Adam Pinces is a tough driver to get close to in terms of lap times at the best of times, but yeah, maybe not a great day to be called Michael. We'll see how that develops over the course of the rest of the day. We have 9 drivers here. That's pretty good. We had 8 earlier on, so good to see these drivers coming in, and I believe we actually had fewer drivers at the previous round. Indeed, we had 8. Yeah, great to see 9 drivers here today, an improvement from last time. And in the mid pack, they're close. Not much separates Streamer through to Muscat. That's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Although sadly, the front at the front, Adam Pinces is a long way ahead. But anyway, still some time to go in this qualifying session. Checkered flag, not for another 40 seconds. So still some chances for these drivers to improve.
Yeah, Pinches is, I believe, on a slow lap at the moment, so he won't be improving his lap time, at least for now. Let's see, is he going to make it to the line before the timer runs out? I think so. So he's just going to have time to do 1 more lap. Daniel Stremer, he's going to be starting. He's on his lap, I believe, already. Just coming through the first corner there.
Yeah, indeed. He's just started that one. I've been watching Dean Vella. He's been pushing a lot harder on this lap. I've been seeing the car moving around in a way that is indicative of a fast lap. And as he heads down the straight, we're going to see what comes of that. I am wondering whether it's better to have a slight distance slipstream, since this straight is very, very long, and these cars aren't that sensitive to aerodynamic disturbance and turbulent air. They are fairly sensitive to it, although it may well be a slight advantage just to have a little slipstream down that straight. Although as soon as you get into the corners, you get well, you get your airflow very much disturbed. Checkered flag is out, Dean Vella sees it, and he does not improve. Sheldon Scott Muscat has also seen the checkered flag, and that is the end of qualifying. So we're now going for a quick advert break. Join us back afterwards. Don't go anywhere.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in endurance series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. With our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and your sensibility. Our tracks are in laser scanning, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience. To to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and you?
Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao and see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody, to round number 5 of the Wave Italy V8 Championship here at Mosport Park. We're about to get ready to do the first race of the evening. 20 minutes long. My name is Felix van Delft, and in the commentary booth I've got with me Caitlin Penny. Welcome once again.
Indeed, welcome back. Yeah, we should mention, of course, that this is a prize money wielding championship, and Adam Pincer is well on his way to that. And of course, the prize is a set of Wave Impetus Sim Pedals Pro worth €1,500, and that is quite a prize. A lot of value behind that, and some very high quality sim racing pedals as well, which would not look out of place in anyone's sim racing setup. Of course, Adam Pincer currently leads this championship by 35 points ahead of Daniel Streamer, and of course going into the next round, since there are 2 rounds remaining, he will need to be 50 points in the lead. So if he scores 15 points more than Daniel Streamer, who is his only challenger remaining, then of course he will wrap up the championship 2 rounds early. And of course, 3rd place is worth 16 points, with 4th place worth 13. So logically, if Pincers finishes in the top 3 and Streamer somehow does not score points today, that means that the championship will go the way of Adam Pincers. Oh no, I was right, never mind. Yep, okay, my calculations stand. Anyway, so we've got about a minute to go until the race starts. Felix, what are you looking out for?
I'm definitely looking out for Strandmare. We've seen Pinches. He's been able to do in the earlier rounds of the season. He was able to do really nice starts. But perhaps Daniel will be able to challenge him at the start. I think if Adam is allowed to run away at the start of the race, I think it's going to be difficult for Daniel to really keep up with him. If he gets past him in the first couple of corners here at the start, then perhaps he will be able to keep Adam behind him for at least long enough to make sure that he can at least battle for the win, perhaps today.
So just 30 seconds now until the lights go out. Remember, it is Adam Pincers on pole position alongside Daniel Streamer. Dean Vella is 3rd, followed by Kirsten Abia. Sheldon Muscat is 5th, followed by Nathan Mifsud, Chris Vella, Michael Martin, and Michael Butler. That's how the grid stands. And the lights are about to go out. We've got 6 red lights, and when they go off, we will be underway here at Mosport for the first of 2 races. Here we go, revs rising, and away we go. The race begins. 20 minutes of the Mosport circuit, and Adam Pincers has got another wonderful start. Streamer through to 2nd. Vella keeps his 3rd position, and actually it seems to be very much status quo, as we head over the crest of the hill. But of course, we still have Moss Corner to come on this lap, and that is where the majority of moves are going to be made in this race. They stream through, everyone's through cleanly. That's where it's good to see. Michael Martin making a move on Chris Vella. That's for 7th place, and that's the first change of the order, I think, as it has been successfully pulled off, Felix.
Yeah, indeed. They were going side by side through the first couple of corners of the track, and Michael Martin able to take that position. Now coming into that Most corner, this is where moves can be made very close, and I think that's Chris Vella going around the outside on the exit. There's a long straight coming up, and Michael Butler behind him is going to have the slipstream. Michael Martin is going to have a problem if he doesn't tuck in right here. Perhaps at the end of the straight might be able to get back with them with the slipstream, but no, I think he's got some top speed difficulties, losing quite a lot of speed there, and Chris Vella taking both those positions and starting to put his eyes on Nathan Mifsud in front of him now. There's a bit of a gap that has been formed though.
So Pincers leads at the end of the first lap, Streamer second, a second behind. Abia has made a mistake, so Abia has lost out to Sheldon Muscat there. He got a little bit squirrely out of turn 1, and that was all it took for Sheldon Muscat to go through into 4th position. Abia now down to 5th. Nathan Mifsud is 6th, followed by Bella, Butler, and Martin. So Martin lost another position there to well, actually, he lost 2 positions because he actually got past Chris Vella last time I was looking, and he is now down at the back of the field. So a possible mistake from him as well. Avia now under pressure from Nathan Mifsud in all of that. And as we head along the back straight, we've got some slipstreaming inbound. Pincers leading by enough not to have to worry about it from Streamer behind. Although behind him, of course, it's a lot closer, and the order is bunching up a little bit more. Chris Vella there, enough ahead of Michael Butler. Went a little bit defensive, although that was the closest pair going into the corner at the end of the straight. But it's still Alan Pincers in the newer Holden. He leads at the end of the second lap.
Yeah, Pincers once again. Like I said before the race started, I think if he's allowed to run away now from Daniel Stremer, the gap's already over a second. I think it's going to be difficult for Daniel to really stick with him. It's a 20-minute race. Of course, tire wear is going to start to play an effect at some point. Perhaps if Daniel is able to manage his tires a bit better than Adam, then we might see them battling at the end of the race. For now, we're just going to have to wait and see. Perhaps Adam makes a mistake.
So down the straight again, and Pincers is extending his lead further. 1.5 seconds now is his gap. Vella and Muscat a bit closer. Abia still dropping back a little bit. I think he is going to be under real pressure from Nathan Mifsud if he's not careful before long. Chris Vella and Michael Butler have changed positions again, so Butler now is up into 7th position, and actually that is the first time they've changed because of Michael Martin, who went through before, and we're about to see confirmation of that. So Butler's made up 2 positions. He was struggling in qualifying and actually missed practice altogether, but appears to be getting the hang of it now, and indeed is up into 7th position. Vella is 8th, Martin is 9th. Field separated by 15 seconds already, with the Pincers 2 seconds out in front in the lead of the race. So almost 5 minutes gone already, and the closest pair, I think, still we've got Vella and Muscat fighting over that 3rd position. They got relatively close down into turn 1 this time, and they're followed closely by Abia and Mifsud. That was the closest 4 drivers throughout all of the first few sessions, and still in the race they continue to be close.
Yeah, I think Kirsten Abia was having a look into turn 5 there on Sheldon Muscat. Late braking, of course, like we said before, one of the only spots where overtaking is really possible, at least in the braking zones. It's just a way of trying to make sure you don't make any mistakes through the flowing sections of the track, and then line yourself up out of that turn 5 onto the big straightaway. Kirsten Abia are very sideways coming into turn 1 there, going a bit wide. It's going to allow Nathan Mifsud to close right up to the back of his car. Perhaps if he gets a good run out of turn 2 here, might be able to set himself up on the exit of turn 3, and then coming into turn 5, might be able to go up the inside there.
we're now almost. Well, we're over 5 minutes into the race. Still pretty much status quo, although, as I said, very, very close between those positions. Spread out a little bit at the back. Michael Butler does seem to have really got the hang of this circuit now. He's starting to pull away from Chris Vella. In fact, Vella's made a mistake there, run wide at Moss Corner, and lost a bit of time in that. I wonder whether in race 2, Michael Butler will be much closer to the midfield pack. Maybe he'll even be able to fight with them. We shall see at the time, I'm sure. Anyway, at the end of another lap, Streamer doing a great job to stick with Adam Pinces. He's over 2 seconds behind him, but in chasing him, he's actually pulled 3 seconds out from Dean Vella behind. So Streamer with a little bit of clean air, a little bit of breathing space there. But behind him, the pack is still continuing to fight. Bit of a gap now between Muscat and Abia, but Muscat and Vella have each other for company, and Abia, of course, has Mifsud in close attendance. So that's how the midfield scrap is at this point in time. Vella running wide again, Chris Vella, and he has just lost a position. That's 8th position to Michael Martin. So Michael Martin now through to 8th position, and I should say, actually, as far as I know, Chris Vella and Dean Vella are not closely related to each other. They actually have different flags, so I believe that they are probably not related.
Sorry to undercut you there a little. Christian Abia has made a mistake, losing the position now to Nathan Mifsud by quite a big margin. I think he spun coming out of turn 5 and even ended up into the barrier, so perhaps a bit of damage on that car as well. It's definitely not going to help his chances to perhaps fight for a podium now and down into P5, and a 7-second gap to Nathan Mifsud in front of him. So it's definitely not what you want to do when not even half the race is done. Still, though, Dean Vella and Sheldon Muscat not too far from each other. These two drivers are really challenging each other, pushing themselves to the limit. Let's see who's going to be able to manage their tires the best and don't make any mistakes, because where this track is really not forgiving. Grass pretty much immediately after every corner. Ooh, and there we see Sheldon Muscat going a little bit wide into turn 5. And that's going to allow Dean Vella to run off a little bit further into the distance. Pinches still leading this race comfortably. Last lap was almost 4/10 quicker than what Stremer was able to do. Get now over 2.5 seconds even. And this last lap was actually his best lap of the race so far. 17.0. Half a second quicker than what Stremer was able to do. So the gap is now over 3 seconds even. So Pinches definitely showing that he is the strongest driver on track at the moment, and perhaps of the championship as well. Like we've said, he is able to clinch the prize, the amazing prize of the Wave Impetus sim pedal, worth over 1,500 euros. It's definitely something that everybody would like to win, I would say, and Adam Pinches is on the prime spot to do so.
So just 10 minutes left in the race. We're halfway through already. Pinces is still leading from Streamer, Vella, Muscat, Mifsud, Ibia, Butler, Martin, and Vella. The order hasn't really changed that much, but that's okay because it's still very close for some of the positions. Oh, actually, no, this is the gap spread out, sorry. But anyway, we're seeing a spectacular display of driving from Adam Pinces. He's 3 seconds out in the lead already, and if this continues, this could be really quite a lead by the end of the race, especially since Streamer is now well and truly out of the slipstream range. He's 4 seconds down now, and could continue to drop back, and it shows how good Adam Pinces is, that he can pull out 4 seconds over the course of just 10 minutes. And yeah, that's really quite something there. Of course, this is the fifth round of the championship. We have 2 races here today, and I should correct myself. Actually, we do have two races next time out as well. Meaning the calculations I did in terms of the championship standings earlier on are not quite right. They would be if we had 2 races left, although because we had 3, that means that. It's not correct, and Adam Pinces can still wrap up the championship today, but it would take more exceptional circumstances than what I said. So my apologies about that. Although still, Pinces putting on a really fantastic performance out in front. We'll see what the gap is at the end of this lap. But it's still going to be really quite significant, possibly 5 seconds. It's 4.5, so yeah, as near as makes not really that much difference at this stage in the race. We have 8 minutes to go. We're going to continue pulling out the gap.
Yeah, through the rest of the field, the gaps have stretched a little bit as well. Dean Vella, Shannon Muscat is now just over 2 seconds story between them. And I think the closest gap actually at the moment is for P7, Michael Butler and Michael Martin, which are pretty close to each other. We've seen these 2 drivers battle quite often in this championship already. They are used to battling with each other, so let's see how they will cope in these last 7.5 minutes. Then Chris Vella behind them, he's made a few mistakes during the course of these last 13 minutes, which has caused him to drop back a little bit there. But now Michael Martin starting to really close up to Michael Butler.
Just heard a slight mistake from Kirsten Ivier. He went slightly wide in the corner, although that's not really going to matter that much. He's in 6th position at this point in time. Actually, he was in 5th last time I looked, so he's dropped back a little way sometime recently, and he's now well and truly on his own. Daniel Streamer now 5 seconds behind Adam Pinces, so Pinces continuing to pull out the gap, and behind him everyone continuing to lap and just try to make as few mistakes as they possibly can. Butler's made a mistake at some point because Michael Martin is now right on his tail. Martin was much further back last time I looked at that one, so we may be about to have a battle between the 2 Michaels there. One of them from the US, the other one from the UK and Wales in particular. That is Michael Martin and both names spelled exactly the same, annoyingly. But anyway, Butler and Martin going at it for that 7th position, the closest 2 cars in the race at this point in time. Still relatively close between Muscat and Vella, Dean Vella, that is. That's been a gap that's been fluctuating a bit. It came down to within 2 seconds a couple of laps ago, but then straight back out again.
Michael Butler just let Michael Martin past on the straight between turn 3 and 5. Not sure exactly if that was a slowdown or just because... Oh, Michael Butler going onto the grass there. Perhaps a bit of troubles with his car. I'm not quite sure, but Michael Butler really struggling. Now also losing a lot of time compared to Michael Martin. And going quite slow as well, so... Not sure what's happened to Michael Butler. But we're just gonna have to accept it for now, I guess. 5 minutes to go, and this battle for P7, I'm sure, is not quite done yet. Michael Martin and Michael Butler are really close to each other in terms of pace.
So, in terms of the championship, I presume that there are not extra points given for the final round, even though that is an endurance race, since the previous endurance races of the series did not have extra points. However, that does mean that Adam needs 40 points more than Streamer if he's going to wrap it up today. Oh, as we see Michael Martin there giving the place back to Michael Butler. That's weird. That scrap's been a little bit of a weird one. They just seem to be going, no, you first. But anyway, Martin back in front now, locks up a wheel, and we'll see if Butler can get through a bit more successfully this time. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, Pincers needs 40 points more than Streamer if he's going to wrap it up today, which is a difficult task to do, although, of course, he doesn't need to wrap it up today because he still has a very healthy lead in the championship, which looks to be going out even more. There are 3 rounds remaining, or 3 races remaining in the championship, 2 rounds after this one, so plenty more opportunity for Adam Pincers.
Yeah, I think in the battle between P7, P8, neither of these Michaels want to be in that lucky number 7 spot, or perhaps they just want to have a little bit of a battle with each other. I guess they both realize that they won't be winning that €1,500 worth prize from Wave Italy, the Wave Italy Impetus Sim Pedal Pro. But they can still have a lot of fun here on the racetrack, and they are sure doing so with 3 minutes left in this race. They're just having a bit of a back and forth battling with each other, I guess.
So Pincers extending his lead out to 7 seconds on that last lap. So still, it's pretty much half a second every lap that he is pulling over Daniel Streamer, and that would make sense, seeing as in qualifying, of course, there was 7 tenths between the two. Team Vela keeping the gap steady. He's pulling away from Jason Muscat slightly on that last lap. That's important since they were relatively close. Oh, and talking of relatively close, we've got Michael Martin, Butler, and Chris Vela going at it. Martin is off the road, and that looked like something happened there because they suddenly found each other at the end of the straight. All 3 of them just. I'm not sure if there was contact or anything, but Martin was forced out onto the grass. He gets over the grass there, so it's Butler now in 7th, followed by Vela in 8th, and Martin in 9th. And that's a really weird battle that they're having back there. It just continues to perplex me how every now and again one will seem to just give up a place, or well, anyway. Mistakes being made. Martin running slightly wide again, keeping it under control, but within but just over the curb. Sorry, and with less than 2 minutes remaining before the checkered flag comes out, no idea how that bunch is going to finish.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be as good of a guess as any who's gonna be the first to finish of these 3 drivers. Michael Butler for now in front, but we've seen these drivers either make mistakes or just wait for each other to let them pass again. So 1.5 minutes to go, still a lot of straights to come, still a lot of mistakes to be made. Anyway, like we've had throughout the whole race, Pinches still leading comfortably, almost 8 seconds in the lead now to Daniel Stremer. Stremer in his turn over 7 seconds in front of Dean Vela, and then he is still about 3 seconds in front of Sheldon Muscat, and then Nathan Mifsut about 5 seconds behind that. Christian Ebier about 10 seconds behind him, and then we have the 3 guys of Michael Butler, Chris Vela and Michael Martin, still battling it out very hard for this final positions on the finishing sheet with 30 seconds to go in this race.
So less than half a minute to go now, and the checkered flag. That means this will be the final lap of the race, to one that Adam Pincers has just started, and he's 9 seconds out in front. Can he bring that to 10 seconds? That would be an incredible performance from him. And in just a 20-minute race, that would be one that would well and truly go down in the record books. So anyway, just a couple of minutes. Well, 1 minute and 16 seconds is a qualifying lap around here to go until the checkered flag. Still, it's Butler ahead of Vela and Martin in that fight down behind him. Actually, Butler's now a long way ahead of those 2 in that scrap for seventh place. And Pincers just has a couple of corners to go now, just 3 corners, a right, left, another right, before he wins a truly dominant race, truly dominant display of driving. He's got a back marker there on the left-hand side, he's giving way to him. That was nice and cleanly done. And Adam Pincers now comes round the final corner, and he is going to win here at Mosport. That is astonishing.
Great bit of driving from him indeed, showing once again he's the quickest driver of the field today. Daniel Stremmer, almost 10 seconds, yes, 10 seconds behind him, finishing in second. Still a great job from him, of course. Then Dean Vella in third. Sheldon Muscat not too far behind him in fourth. Nathan Mifsud is about to finish in fifth. And Kirsten Abia, who made a bit of a mistake in the early part of this race, which cost him the place to Nathan Mifsud, and I think he was also battling with Dean Vella and Sheldon Muscat at the start of this race, but now has to finish down in sixth place. And then I think it's gonna be Michael Butler who's gonna finish in front of Chris Vella, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit. A couple of corners to go for them to finish. Michael Martin has already finished. He had to let Adam Pinches past as a back marker. Now Michael Butler indeed finishing seventh, Chris Vella in eighth. And that rounds up the first race of the evening.
Indeed. So we're going straight now to the second qualifying session, which decides the grid for the second race. Adam Pinces will be going for a second pole position, which it's going to be difficult for anyone else to stop him from doing. But behind him, of course, we've got that wonderful scrap between Streamer, Vella, Abia, and Muscat over second position. Maybe Nathan Mifsud can get involved in that as well. We shall soon see. Michael Martin appears to have just disappeared and seems to... I'm not sure he understands that we've got a second race, actually. Oh, no, never mind. He can't make the second race. We've just lost Michael Butler as well. So both Michaels have disappeared. Hopefully Michael Butler makes it back if he can make it. But anyway, moving to the qualifying session very, very shortly. And here we go. So away we go for a second qualifying session. And the times from this are going to be of importance for the race that we're about to see.
Definitely first driver out on track, I believe, is Nathan Mifsud. No, that's not true.
Sheldon Muscat.
Yeah, Sheldon Muscat indeed. So he's going to be the first driver to watch out for. At least if he manages to finish the start-finish line first. Still half an lap to go.
Indeed, Muscat was not actually the first driver at the pits, although he was the first driver to reach turn 2, as whoever it was who went out before him actually ended up pulling off for some reason. Although now it's been sorted out, Sheldon Scott Muscat will be the first driver onto a flying lap, followed by the other drivers behind him. Of course, we're looking for times of 1:17s. The pole time for race 1, of course, was in the late 1:16s, although Adam Pinces is the only driver currently who's managed to set a time under 1:17. It's almost impossible to do unless you are an alien such as Adam. But if anyone else can do it, Daniel Streamer can, so we'll keep looking out for him as well. So, onto a flying lap goes Sheldon Muscat through turn 1. He's being chased down by Nathan Mifsud. But anyway, Muscat through turn 2, over the crest of the hill. Important to get it wide here, but not so wide that you go over that curb. Probably could have used a bit more track there, could Muscat, although Mifsud absolutely nailed it behind him. Muscat a little bit, tiny bit sideways through turn 3, Quebec corner. Really not that much though, he's okay. And his first sector time was actually faster than Mifsud's after all that, by 0.4 of a second. So pretty good first sector there for Sheldon Muscat. And his second sector time looks to be pretty good as well, although he did get a little bit of an oversteer on the exit of Moss Corner. So name, because one of the first races here at the circuit, possibly even the first race here, was won by the great Sir Sterling Moss. Second sector time pretty good from Sheldon Muscat, not quite as quick as Pinces on his outlap, but then again that is Pinces. And Muscat, with just a couple of corners left, is going to be the first driver to set a time. Out of the final corner he goes. Again, we're looking 117s, and he sets a 117.390. Not a bad opening effort at all. Nathan Mifsud crosses the line in second. He's had a little bit of a dodgy lap, 118.622, and I expect that he can go a lot faster than that one, so keep an eye on him. As Daniel Streamer is the fastest first sector so far, but actually has made a big mistake in the second.
Yeah, indeed, Streamer losing a lot of time in that second sector. Now Pinches, he's on his first lap. Second sector already looking very rapid, and I think unless he makes a mistake in this last sector, it's gonna take that provisional pole position for now. Coming across the line, and it is not last sector, not very well for Adam Pinches, and about 2/10 or 1.5 tenths slower than Sheldon Muscat as of now. But of course, we've seen that Pinches can dip into that 116s. And perhaps he will be able to do so in this next lap, or still 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. So he's got some time to find that time as well.
So Pinces now in second position. So his first flying lap wasn't great, and he's actually touched the grass on this next lap as well, and actually is bailed out. So Pinces will have to go for another attempt after this one, as his first was not good enough for that pole position that he's going for. He's exiting the pits now. Not sure why he's the only driver with the newer Holden chassis. I'm not sure if there is actually a difference in terms of pace between the two. But whatever the case, Pinces in the brand new Holden ZB. I'm pretty sure that the only difference is probably bodywork, but again, I'm not sure about that. Streamer through to second now, and that's a 118.041, and the top three separated by 7 tenths per second. A little bit closer than it was in the first qualifying session, but we've only seen 6 of the drivers set laps so far. In fact, only 5 of them, because Aberhere's there was an outlap. No Michael Butler in the server, no Michael Martin, and we've also lost another driver potentially because, oh no, never mind, I'm just bad at arithmetic. 9 minus 2 is indeed 7. Pinces fast in the second sector, but that's on an outlap, so obviously he's capable of it. We know that he is, although has not set the time yet. Just about to start his flying lap. So at the final corner comes Adam Pinces. Start fastest time of anyone in the final sector. Well, despite it being an outlap through the first corner, has to keep it within the on the tarmac. So just about got very close to the grass, but it's all about finding the limits in this car, and that very much was the limit there. So through the first few corners, towards the end of the first sector comes Adam Pinces. He's about, oh yeah, that's a purple sector in the first sector, meaning fastest of anyone. Now he hosts the fastest sectors in all 3 sectors so far, and 2 of those being on an outlap, so we'll see if he can do that on a flying lap as well. I see no reason as to why he will not be able to. Coming down at the Mario Andretti straight towards another sector beam. Not quite as quick as he's capable of in the second sector, but still faster than anyone else. 1/10 of a second faster than Muscat on Muscat's last lap. And now just a couple of corners left. He's still a long way up on his lap, about to dip into the 116s, I think, as he comes out of the final corner, crossing the line. He might not just make it. It's a 117.047, and as I said before, we know he's capable of much faster than that, but that's still pole position for Adam Pinces by 0.343 seconds. I should say provisional pole, as we still have just under 3 minutes remaining before the checkered flag here, but that is really quite something from Adam Pinces. Nathan Mifsud and Chris Vella currently improving their laps quite significantly. Dean Vella now goes up into 3rd position, 117.621, and that's where he qualified in race 1 as well. Yeah, good lap there from Dean.
Yeah, what is catching my eye is Daniel Stremer really struggling to find his pace in the second qualifying session. At the moment, he has done a 118.0 when I believe in the last qualifying session he was able to do at least a 17.5, which was at least worth third position if you were to be doing that time right now. About 2 minutes left in this qualifying session, so he's still got some time, about 2 laps, to try and find that time that he's losing somewhere. But definitely interesting to see that he's struggling a little bit here.
Indeed, Daniel Streamer about a second up on his time already, so I think all about that Moss corner there. That was where he gained all of the time on this lap, and I reckon he's been getting that wrong on previous tours, although getting it very, very right this time around. Fastest second sector for him, or personal best rather, not quite fastest of everyone, but very close to it. Through the final sector he goes, and this is looking very promising. In fact, I wonder whether he can challenge for pole here, since he's about a second up on his lap, and he gained less than a second, slightly twitchy out of the final corner. But look at this time, crossing, it is pole, it's provisional pole anyway, so unless Adam Pinces can go faster, that's pole position for Daniel Streamer. He set it up under 1 minute 17 for the first time today, 1:16.975. That was a wonderful lap, wonderful middle sector, especially for Daniel Streamer, absolutely fantastic. And Pinces, well, Pinces faster than his first sector already, so we'll see what Pinces can do here. There's less than a tenth of a second between the two in terms of lap times. This is going to be a tense finish to the qualifying session, especially if Pinces makes another mistake here.
Yeah, Pinches, I think he has the time in him. His fastest second sector was 26.1. He just does a 26.2, so indeed it's gonna be a bit quicker than Streamer if he finishes like this. So the last sector is still gonna be very important for him. Final corner coming up now. Right corner, exit is important. Here we go, I think it's gonna be enough. And then Pinches crosses that line, indeed. 2/10 quicker than Daniel Streamer there. So the little bit of hope that Daniel just had for the half of a minute that Adam Pinches had to finish his lap is shattered as Adam goes to pole position, 1:16.740.
You're right, but he was so much closer to Adam Pinces. Definitely a step in the right direction for Daniel Streamer, and whether he can replicate that in the race, not in terms of lap times of course, but in terms of his gap to Pinces. So that is the end of the session. Pinces takes pole from Streamer, Muscat, Vela, Abia, Mifsud and Vela, but we're now going for a quick advert break, and then we will be back for race 2.
Hi everybody and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in the endurance series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. With our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and your sensitivity. Our tracks are in laser scan, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and you?
Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao! And see you soon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready for the second race of the evening here at the Wave Italy V8 Championship. It is round 5 at Mosport Park. For the guys that have missed it, previous race was won by Adam Pinches, and right now Pinches is once again on pole position. My name is Felix van der Elft, and joined in the commentary booth still we've got Caitlin Penny.
Indeed, you said that it was won by Adam Pinces. I would say it was absolutely dominated, absolutely smashed out of the park by Adam Pinces. And the real question going into this race 2 will be, can anyone stop him? It's going to be difficult, but Daniel Streamer there was a lot closer to him in qualifying than he had been before. Of course, Streamer only the second driver to set a lap time under 1 minute 17, and just 0.2 of a second off Adam Pinces. That at the start of the race is very much neutralized because you get the slipstream from the car in front, meaning that Streamer does genuinely have a very good chance of sticking with Pinces if indeed his race pace is about the same gap from Pinces' race pace as his qualifying pace was to Adam's qualifying time. But anyway, 2 minutes to go until the race start. We shall soon find out, but I think this one is very much between Adam Pincers and Daniel Streamer. I'm also interested to see the battle behind between Muscat, Vela, Apia and Mifsud, because they were even closer than ever in qualifying, separated by about 0.6 of a second. Chris Vela will be on his own since both of the Michaels have dropped out, so for him this will all be about finishing the race and seeing if he can pick up some points. But anyway, 1 minute 30 to go until the race start, and that is how I see it turning out.
Yeah, I think the same thing applies here as it was in the last race. I think if Daniel isn't really able to either make a move in the first couple of corners in the first lap, then it's going to be difficult for him to stick with Adam. Remember last time he finished with 10 seconds ahead of Daniel Sturmer, so if Sturmer isn't really able to stick close with him in the first couple of laps or perhaps battle with him, it's going to be very difficult for him to really challenge Adam for the win, unless of course Adam makes some mistake somewhere, but I really doubt he will. We've seen very few amounts of mistakes from Adam throughout this whole championship so far.
So just 36 seconds to go until the start of the race for Slice. I know that's what it is. And it's Pincers on pole, followed by Streamer, Muscat, Vela, Apia, Mifsud, and Vela. That is how it's going to... that's how it's going to start. So look at the front row of the grid. Pincers got the best start last time out. Streamer really not that far behind him. Again, 6 red lights, and when they go out, we will be underway here for race 2 at Mosport. It's the same length as race 1, but the intensity is about to be cranked up. Out go the lights, and now away we go. So, leading the race, Adam Pincers down towards turn 1. I believe Chris Vela, no, it was Nathan Mifsud actually. He got a little bit sideways at the start, almost got into the wall there. Pincers leads, followed by Streamer and Muscat, and again it's status quo through the first couple of corners. The only change being that Chris Vela is now ahead of Nathan Mifsud in 6th position. We're not expecting him to quite be able to keep up with this bunch, and Nathan Mifsud goes through on the inside. No disrespect to Vela. Oh, and he's lost it. Chris Vela sliding sideways, goes into the grass, and he's going to struggle to keep up with the pack now. But anyway, he just needs to drive his own race, do as well as he can do. Streamer is very much sticking with Pincers on this opening lap. He was almost under his rear wing there, coming through Moss corner, and he is certainly going on the offensive. Knows that in order to beat Pincers, he needs to put pressure on him very quickly, possibly pass him in the first couple of laps, and then just hold him up. But yeah, Streamer there very close, still very much in this fight for the lead.
Yeah, Kirsten Abier and Nathan Mifsud battling in P5. I think Nathan had a little bit of a loop coming down the back straight, but wasn't really able to make the move stick. And then of course Sheldon Muscat and Dean Vela also very close to each other.
Absolutely, crossing the start-finish line, less than half a second. Pincers and Streamer, and that's how close it is at the end of the opening lap. Muscat and Vela very close as well, and Abier and Mifsud is still not resolved either. Mifsud recovering after that mistake at the start. Chris Vela running very wide in that 7th position, and rejoins the circuit. He's a couple of seconds back now, but you know, good on him for not giving up. So Pincers and Streamer back through Moss corner, and now Streamer will have the slipstream. He's going to go from Daniel Streamer to slipstreamer and try to get closer to the back of Adam Pincers, possibly alongside him towards the corner at the end of the straight. I'm not sure he's quite going to be close enough for that, but this is definitely the part in the circuit which matters most to him. It's going to be where he employs the slipstream to keep close to Adam Pincers, and probably where he goes through if he makes a move as well, unless Adam Pincers is going to make an uncharacteristic mistake. Towards the end of another lap, the gap's going to remain roughly the same. It's about half a second again. That's pretty much what it was at the end of the last lap, and behind them Muscat, Vela, and Apia still in close contention. So that's how it stands at the end of the second lap. But good to see a clean start again, Felix.
Definitely very nice to see. Now there's a little bit of a pack forming between P3 and P6. Sheldon Muscat down to Nathan Nifsut. We've seen this guys battle between each other before. Last time around it was Dean Vella coming out on top. Now let's see what Sheldon Muscat is able to do. Can he keep these drivers behind him? Coming out of turn 5 now. Slipstream is going to be for Dean Vella. Of course, Kirsten Ebier behind us is going to have the double slipstream. Coming up to turn number 8.
And for the lead, Streamer just took a look. That was really, really close there, going towards the end of the straight. My apologies cutting in, but Streamer there looked as if he was going for a full-on swipe at the tail of Adam Pince's car. They got through it. Pince is still in the lead, but it's so close between him and Streamer. Streamer very much on the attack. As they go across the start-finish line, 0.2 of a second separate the two. Streamer took another look. ABR is classified as 4th position at the end of the lap, so he did pass Nathan Vella there. Mifsud still 6th, Chris Vella still 7th. But my goodness, how close was that between Pince and Streamer?
And it's not done yet. Streamer still very close. They're going to be coming up to turn 5 shortly. That's one of the spots where we've seen overtakes happening. Adam Pinch is now under pressure from Stremer. This has not happened a lot before, but he manages to keep his cool and gets a nice exit out of turn 5 there.
So down the straight again. This is where Streamer had a look, a lap ago, and towards the end, the final couple of corners of the lap, not quite as close this time around. Possibly just waiting to set himself up for another move. But anyway, towards the final corner. Streamer got close enough to Pintus to have a little look into turn 1 last time around again as well. 0.7 of a second the gap. That's actually the largest the gap's been all the way through this race. So hopefully this isn't the start of Streamer starting to lose ground. Hopefully he's just waiting, biding his time. And when he feels that he's recovered and recuperated, he'll go for it again. But anyway, we shall soon see. Close between Avier and Vela at the end of that lap. Vela trying to get back at Kirsten Avier, of course, for that 4th position. Vela actually qualified 3rd, so he's lost 2 positions over the course of the race so far. No, he didn't. He qualified 4th. My apologies. But anyway, that's how it stands for the time being. Streamer actually the fastest of anyone in the first sector, so purple sector there being set by Daniel Streamer, trying to get closer to Adam Pinces. Pinces was in the second, but yeah, I definitely say that it's still not done yet between Streamer and Pinces. As we head towards the end of another lap, we'll have to keep an eye on the gap. I reckon that the gap's going to come down again here. It's going to be close to 0.6 of a second maybe. Crossing the line, it's 0.7 again, although it's slightly closer than it was a lap ago. So still very much not over yet between Pinces and Streamer. They continue to fight. Avia and Vela also continue to fight. Avia, they're running wide at turn 1, but keeping it just off the grass. Vela will have a good run down the hill here towards Moss Corner. But anyway, yeah, very exciting race so far. Much better than the start of race 1. I'm looking forward to seeing how these battles develop for the rest of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Stremer is struggling. Ooh, as he's going wide there into turn 5. That's going to lose him a lot of time. And that's going to give Adam Pinches the breathing room that he needs to try and find his rhythm, try and find the pace to stretch out that gap once again. Stremer losing just over a second, almost 1.5 seconds there, just because he ran wide. And that's not what you want to see, of course.
Sure, Adam Pinces there, fastest of anyone in sector. We're decided to drop back with that mistake. To be honest, we expected that it would happen, although streamer gave it a very, very valiant effort. 2.4 seconds now the gap, but yeah, very much a valiant effort to stick with pincers for such a long time, and he will be disappointed about that mistake there. But to be honest, it happens to all of us. Even pincers makes mistakes at times, and of course, there's nothing to say that he won't make a mistake in the remainder of this race. So he just has to keep in that position, keep plugging away at those lap times, seeing how he does. Anyway, we've had a change for 6. Chris Vella's gone past Nathan Mifsud, and that is because Mifsud had a big mistake. He actually, I'm not entirely sure what happened, probably made a similar mistake to streamer looking at the location of it. But yeah, Vella to 6th place. We'll see if he can hold off Mifsud. That's going to be a tough task since Mifsud has proven himself to be a lot faster in this race so far. Again, no disrespect to Chris Vella, but if you look at the lap times, 118.1 is Mifsud's fastest, 119.5 is Vella's fastest. This is now in the slipstream as they go down the Mario Andretti straight towards the corners towards the end of the lap. The gap for the lead 3.7 this time. Indeed, it is still coming out much closer for 3rd place. So Vella's still attacking Sheldon Muscat. Wrong Muscat, but I think Mifsud may be about to pull a move on Chris Vella here. He was very close coming out the final corner, challenged the board, and wide runs Vella at turn 1. Actually, no, he wasn't running wide. That was Mifsud actually cutting the corner on the inside there, and I'm not sure why he did that because he's lost time through doing that. He wasn't able to carry the speed he would have liked. Fastest sector time of anyone in the first sector from Sheldon Muscat. That's weird because he's not. Oh wait, never mind, he is in a scrap. He's fending off Dean Vella as we speak. And now Nathan Mifsud there takes another look at Vella, and again, not quite able to make it stick. Vella doing a great job of fending Nathan Mifsud off so far.
Oh, he's made a mistake coming into turn 5, hard into the wall. He lost to braking, touched the grass, and I think that's even race over for him. That's very, very hard hit into the wall, and allows Nathan Mifsud back up to 6th place. But unfortunate for Chris Vella, of course, that he has had to retire 10 minutes early in this race.
Yeah, it's a big shame. My apologies there. It was almost like a curse. Said that he was defending well, and instantly he made a mistake. And actually, he made that mistake even braking zone. He'd run wide, he got onto the grass, and there was just no stopping the car at that point. Luckily, we didn't get any retirements from race 1, meaning that is the first retirement of the day if you don't count the DNSs from the 2 Michaels in race 2. So that's scrap done. Nathan Mifsud is up to 6th, and 6th it seems he will stay. Someone ahead of him has an error, and that has really spread out the battles in this race. Pincers leading Streamer by 4 seconds. Streamer leading Muscat by 3 seconds. Muscat leading Vella by 1.5. Vella leading Abia by 3.8. And then Abia leading Mifsud by roughly 14 or 15 seconds. So no close scrap going on at the minute, and that means that for these drivers, they just need to make sure that they don't make any more mistakes in the remainder of the race. Although drivers such as Kirsten Apia and Nathan Mifsud, they've just got to go for it because they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, definitely. Pinches, of course, now almost 6 seconds ahead of Stremer after that mistake from Stremer coming into turn 5, I believe it was. Adam Pinches has just been able to keep the pace up, and the last lap as well from Stremer was 1.6 seconds slower than Pinches. Again, I think once again a mistake from Stremer in that lap, and that's definitely going to play into the hands of Adam Pinches. Of course, he is leading the championship, fighting for that Wave Impetus Sim Pedal Pro set worth 1,500 euros, which is an amazing prize to win. And Pinches, I think, is almost within grasping range of that prize right now with only 2 rounds to go after this one, and 3 races in total.
Indeed, of course, we have the 2 races next time out, which are going to be roughly the same as this, although slightly shorter. It's 2 15-minute races at Sandown, and then the final round of the championship will be a 90-minute race at Bathurst. And while that's not technically an endurance race, it will very much feel like one. To the drivers, it's effectively a Grand Prix distance, but on the mountain, the Mount Panorama circuit. And I tell you what, sooner them than me. The maximum I've ever done in one go at Bathurst is an hour, and that was pretty tricky to say the least. So yeah, that's going to be a really interesting to see. I expect we'll have a larger entry list than this round, since it will be the final round of the championship, and because it will be such a big event as well. And even if you are the fastest driver there, even Adam Pincers or Daniel Streamer, you're still going to need to keep it clean, because at Mount Panorama, it's so difficult to do, and the winner, I expect, will be the driver who is the cleanest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we can say here already in Mosport that any mistake is going to be penalized because there's grass all over the place, but Bathurst, that is of course on another level. There's basically a wall on every exit of every corner, so if you just enter a little bit too quickly or just turn it a little bit too much, you hit the inside wall and you just bounce off into the outside wall. It's pretty much race over for you. So drivers are going to have to be very, very careful on that track.
Absolutely, you can never underestimate it will bite you. This year, of course, we saw so big accidents in qualifying for the real life Bathurst 12 hour. Although less about that, and back to Mosport. It's actually getting much closer for third place. Dean Vella's been really pushing these last couple of laps, and he's been catching up to the back of Sheldon Muscat. His best lap is almost 0.3 of a second faster. His last lap was 0.8 of a second faster, and if he continues to catch at this rate, he's going to be right on the tail of Muscat at the end of this lap. I do feel that Muscat probably made a mistake to drop back that much, but still, Vella is really flying at this point in the race, and if anything is going to change, I think that will be it. Dean Vella, of course, qualified 3rd for race 1, qualified 4th for race 2, just behind Nathan Nissert, but just behind Sheldon Muscat, but continuing to plug away at that gap, to attempt to be back in front of him again, just as he was in race 1. Crossing the start-finish line, we'll see what their times are. Dean Vella's actually slightly down there, about 0.4 down on Muscat's that last lap, and that may be his last chance gone. He will probably get another chance if Muscat makes another mistake, but you can tell that Muscat sees him coming. He's aware of the danger, and he is starting to push in order to defend that place.
Yeah, Muscat, of course, one of the drivers that hasn't been able to finish on the podium before. So it would be nice for him to get his first podium place here. Dean Vella just finished 3rd last race, but next to that, he has not been able to finish on a podium either. So let's see which of these drivers will be able to get the podium in this race. It would be nice to have 2 additional podium finishers, but of course I'm sure Dean Vella doesn't agree with me there.
Indeed. So through the final stages of the race now, we've got 3 minutes remaining on the clock, and then of course at the end of that lap, that will be the end of the race. Muscat and Vella separated by 1.3 at the end of that lap, so still the gap remaining steady, although Muscat's slightly faster than Vella over the last lap. And yeah, I think Muscat's safe for the time being, just needs to make sure that he doesn't make any more mistakes. Pitts is almost half a minute out of Kirsten Abigut. That's quite impressive. He is half a minute ahead of Nathan Nissert. Really quite an impressive performance again from Adam Pincers. We're used to seeing him, and actually that means that he will have scored 10 points more than the streamer today. And while that means he won't wrap up the championship this time around, he will get much closer to wrapping it up, and they will be separated by 45 points in the championship as a whole, meaning that at the next round, oh my goodness, yeah, that means at the next round, he will only need to score 5 points more than Streamer in race 1 in order to wrap up the championship, meaning that if Pincers wins and Streamer is second in race 1 at Sandown, that will be the championship going the way of Adam Pincers. And to be honest, that is very much not unlikely. Pincers might well win this race by 10 seconds again. He's 9 seconds ahead of Daniel Streamer, and we're going to get one more lap after this one. So yeah, that's, goodness me, Adam Pincers absolutely flying still, even though he doesn't necessarily need to, even though he's safe in the lead of the race, even though he has a massive buffer, he is still going for it. Meanwhile, less than a second separate Muscat and Vela, so I may be wrong. It may be that Muscat isn't as safe as he thought he was. Vela was 0.3 per second faster than him on that last lap, and that fight for third may still be unresolved here in the late stages.
Yeah, a minute to go, so I'm guessing next lap is gonna be the final one. Pinches is in, where is he? Turn 9? No, I can't
He's coming
really.
up towards the final corner now.
Indeed.
So indeed, we do get one more lap, and across the line he goes. We'll see what the gap is. It's another 117.2, the lap time last time around. That's really impressive. His best in the race would have put him second in qualifying. It's in the 116th. That's phenomenal. And he's leading by 10.5 seconds. This is going to be an even greater win than in race 1, even though he had that pressure at the start of the race. Adam Pincers absolutely running away with it. Muscat and Vela separated by just 0.5 per second as they crossed the line that time around. That was even closer than before. Now, actually, the server says that that's been given a 5-second penalty for cutting. Now, I'm not sure whether that stands or whether that is non-official, since it wasn't a steward decision. But anyway, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. I don't think it will affect the order anyway, but still, Adam Pincers now coming towards the end of the straight. He's just got 3 corners to go left in this race. Pincers absolutely dominant this today. Took pole in race 1 by a huge margin, win in race 1 by a huge margin, pole in race 2, and he's going to win again. Adam Pincers crossing the line, utterly dominant, and what a race that was from Adam, the Hungarian. Daniel Streamer now about to cross the line. Can he bring it to within 10 seconds, or is he going to be 10 seconds back again? Oh, it's 13 seconds. That is a massive victory for Adam Pincers there. Absolutely dominant. 13.118 to be precise. And that is my goodness, that is a professional performance from Adam Pincers. Sheldon Muscat is third. Good job from him. Dean Vela is fourth. And then it's going to be Kirsten Apia and Mifsud spins. Mifsud spins. Can he reverse it across the line? Oh, and he finishes in style. What a sport is Nathan Mifsud. But what a driver is Adam Pincers.
Yeah, amazing race from him. Once again, we're pretty much used to it by now. But taking his 6th win of the season here.
Out of 7.
Yeah, 7 even. Sorry, yeah, not counting the one before.
7 out of 8.
Yeah, just an amazing performance from him. Just gonna wait a little bit to get the drivers into the commentary booth, and then let's ask them a few tough questions. Let's see what they have to say today.
So, first of all, I believe that we're going to have Adam Pincers, actually, on account of the fact that he is definitely the server. So I think we should start. Let's go with Daniel Streamer, who chased him close all the way through today, especially in race 2. But in the end, races just couldn't quite keep with him. So Daniel, welcome to the broadcast, and congrats on your double podium.
Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Not a bad performance from you at all. Just talk us through today. Talk us through how you achieve those 2 second places or 4 second places if you count the qualifying session.
Yes. Qualifying. I think I was nearly as fast in qualifying 1 and qualifying 2. I did a 16.9, which wasn't too bad, but considering Adam's lap times, he both times did a 16.5, which was 0.4 seconds faster than me. So well done to him. The races were nothing special. Well, the first run, I started second, stayed second more or less till the end. Race 2 was a bit more exciting. I think maybe Adam was a little bit nervous. I don't know, but the first few laps, the pace wasn't as fast as I expected from him, and I was able to stay behind him. I could have done maybe one overtake, but it would have been too risky, and we both would have been crashed out. So there was no point. So very, very well done to Adam.
Well, discretion, the better part of valor, but still, you did a great job to finish P2 in both races. So Daniel, we know that you've won a race. You won last time out of course. With the 3 races remaining, 2 at Sandown and 1 at Bathurst. Do you see yourself challenging for once again?
I don't know the track in Sandown, but I know Bathurst. Well, everything can happen. I will give it 100% always, and let's see where I will end.
Fantastic. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you very much.
So Felix van Delfnar is standing by with another driver to interview.
Yeah, let's switch over to the winner of the day and almost of the championship. Getting very, very close now to winning that Wave Impetus Sim Pedal Pro set. Adam, 2 wins added to the counter. How did it feel today on track?
Hey guys, yeah, it was good 2 races. Thanks for Barney Martin again to helping me with the setup. Without him, I would have been not as fast as I was now. So definitely a huge thank you for him. Yeah, board qualifying was alright. 16.5 and 16.7. So yeah. And the races, yeah, race 2 was a bit shaky, I would say. I mean, I did a mistake at the start. The reel was spinning a lot, and actually I was gearing up too early, and then yeah, almost overtook me on the inside, but I managed to hold the position, and after that I was a bit uncomfortable, but yeah, after that I managed to get the pace and then win the race.
Yeah, very, very nice job once again. Looking forward to Sandown International Motor Raceway in next week. What are your thoughts about that track? Did you have a look at it already?
Not yet. I will have a look maybe tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know the track at all, so it will be a challenge again. But with the new setup we made, I think I will have a good chance to win again.
All right. If you do so, then I think it's done and dusted for the championship. So let's wait and see what you are able to do there. Thank you for joining us here in the commentary booth.
Thank you.
So, Caitlin, who are you going to pick next here to interview?
Well, I think we should start with third place in race 1 and place in race 2, being Dean Vella. Hello, Dean.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, it is going very well, and it went pretty well for you as well. Third place in race 1. Talk us through how you did it, please.
Yeah, thanks. Quality was decent. I mean, I had definitely more qualifies in my sleeves, but I couldn't really go through. But I got P3 in quali. Then I just maintained a decent race pace throughout. Tried not to overcook the car in certain corners. I was just a bit disappointed that I couldn't really compete with the top 2 guys, but it was a pretty decent race from my end.
Still talking of competing, you had some close fights in qualifying pace, especially. But towards the end of that race 2, there, very close to passing Sheldon Muscat. Do you think you could have done anything differently?
Yeah, I had a couple of moments in race 2, which cost me some time. If I had a few more laps, maybe, because at the end my pace was starting to get a bit stronger. But yeah, it was very close. Enjoyed that battle with Sheldon, but just hopefully next time I get that overtake done on him.
Indeed. Well, you have 3 more races, so score results. So anyway, thanks for the interview and good luck in the future round.
Thank you.
So anyway, I will now hand back over to Felix van Del for the final interview of the day. He has our race 2, third place, Sheldon Muscat.
Yeah, indeed, Sheldon. Your day went pretty well, I would say, especially in that second race, first podium of the season. How does it feel?
Hi Felix, hi all. Okay, it feels really good. I mean, I had the pace in race 1, but I did not manage to get a podium in race 1, and then I got it in race 2. So I couldn't get everything together in race 1 and qualifying 1.
Yeah, definitely a great job in that second race. Pressure started to rise a little bit towards the end as Dean started to get closer. Did you feel that, or did you just have the feeling that you had everything under control, nothing could hurt you?
Yes, at the end of the race, Dean was really catching up. I mean, I started overcooking the tires. I had a very few moments that I was going to lose control of the car, but everything went well for me and ended up in P3, fortunately.
Yeah, once again, very nice job. Are you looking forward to the next race in Sandown International Motor Raceway?
Felix, yes, I'm very looking forward for Sandown and of course the Bathurst last race, 90 minutes endurance. It would be going to be mega for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a really nice race there as well. Yeah, but thank you for joining us here in the commentary booth, and once again, congratulations on that podium position.
Thanks, Felix. Thanks.
So that's wrapping it up for the interviews here today, Caitlin. I think we're gonna have to start finishing up the broadcast, and then gonna have to start looking forward to that next race in Sandown International Motor Raceway.
It's a good one to look forward to, of course. Sandown, an important track in Australian motorsport, and a very exciting one. I played a race at Sandown relatively recently, and it was one of the best races that I've seen on Australian track. And yeah, very much looking forward to seeing the races in the next round, even if I am not commentating. But anyway, yeah. So thank you for tuning in today, everyone, and congrats again to all of our podium finishers, especially Adam Pinces, who absolutely dominated both races. And the question next time out will be, will he wrap up the championship, or can anyone catch him? So anyway, see you then.
Yeah, indeed.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in the endurance series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. With our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and your sensitivity. Our tracks are in laser scan, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and you?
Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao and see you soon.
I know you've got a secret like a child, you wanna keep it, but your shiny eyes reveal the simple truth.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.